Dad, I've sold your lake house. You have until Friday to get out. My son Daniel said it so casually that, for a moment, I thought I had heard him wrong. I stood in the doorway of the house I had built with my own hands 42 years earlier. Behind me was a lake where Daniel had learned to swim, where I had taught him to fish, and where his mother and I had spent every summer watching him grow up. You sold my house? I finally asked. Daniel sighed impatiently. Yes, Dad. I sold it. The buyer is paying a fortune for property. You can't stay here anymore. I stared at him. Daniel, this house is in my name. He smiled. Not anymore. He pulled a folder from his briefcase and placed several papers on the kitchen table. I took care of everything. My hands trembled as I looked at the documents. Daniel had always been ambitious. When he was young, I worked 3 jobs to give him opportunities one never had. I paid for his college. I helped him start his business. When he needed money, I never asked questions. But somewhere along the way, my son stopped seeing me as his father. He started seeing me as an obstacle. You have until Friday, he repeated. Pack your things. I looked at him for a long moment. Then something inside me became strangely calm. Okay, I said. Daniel looked surprised. That's it. I nodded. You want the house. You can have it. He smiled. I knew you'd understand. He walked out without another word. But Daniel didn't know one thing. The house had never been his to sell. And I had known for months that something like this might happen. 3 years earlier, Daniel had begged me to let him manage my financial affairs after his mother passed away. He told me he wanted to protect me. I believed him, but before giving him access to anything, I had quietly hired an attorney. Every property, every account, every investment had been placed under a family trust. Daniel had no legal authority to sell anything. The documents he had shown me were meaningless. But there was something even more important. The lake house wasn't just a house. It was worth nearly $4 million. And the buyer Daniel had found had already transferred a huge deposit. I spent Thursday night sitting on the porch, watching the moon reflect across the lake. I wasn't angry anymore. I was heartbroken. Not because my son wanted my house, because he had forgotten who had built it. Friday morning, Daniel arrived with 2 movers. He stepped out of his expensive car wearing a suit and carrying another folder. Time to go, Dad. I smiled. Actually, Daniel, I think you should sit down. He frowned. What are you talking about? I handed him a letter from my attorney. His face changed as he read it. What is this? It's a notice. A notice? You never owned this property, Daniel. He looked at me in disbelief. That's impossible. You attempted to sell property that legally belongs to the family trust. His hands began to shake. Then I placed another document on the table. The buyer has been informed. The sale is canceled. Daniel stared at me. But the money, you mean the deposit? He swallowed. You will be responsible for returning it. His face went pale. For the first time in years, my son looked frightened. Dad, please? I raised my hand. Do you know what hurts the most? He said nothing. I would have given you this house someday. His eyes filled with tears. But you didn't want to wait. Daniel lowered his head. I'm sorry. I looked toward the lake. I know. Then I turned back to him. But forgiveness doesn't mean giving you another chance to destroy everything. Daniel walked away quietly. I remained on the porch. The house was still mine. But that morning, I realized something far more valuable. I hadn't saved the lake house. I had saved myself. And sometimes, the hardest lesson a father can teach a son is that love does not mean allowing someone to take everything you have.